All I meant was that a child acting on child's distorted views can become dangerous.
But I do not believe that the views of children are inevitably distorted. On the contrary, I believe a child's views are remarkably truthful.
What a dangerous and tentative truth, because observation is only the first step toward judgment.
Indeed? Then perhaps you will instruct me.
You're asking an American Baptist to instruct you, Sister Helena?
I am bound to the practice of humility, Miss Perry.
Then I would say that one's ability to see truthfully is conditioned by one's willingness to see charitably, and the young are too arbitrary to be charitable. Am I tiring you, sister?
No, perhaps you are right. At one point, Miss Brodie was judged to be a fascist.
Oh?
When I entered the Catholic Church, I found in its ranks quite a number of fascists, not so agreeable than Miss Brodie.
I assume you mean that humorously, sister.
Oh no, I have no humor. Irony perhaps, but no humor. Nor had Miss Brodie. Humor would have helped Miss Brodie. Would have extended her prime.
Why? Was it cut short?
Yes, it had to be.
What happened?
Miss Brodie was assassinated.
Where you are mistaken is that supposing Jean Brodie is unique. There is an army of such women in Edinburgh, war-weary spinsters studying German, living in nuts and honey. It is simply that they do not, like Jean, teach in schools of classical character. Jean is a magnificent specimen.
She's crackers.
How graciously you put it.
And if she knew I were sitting for you instead of Jenny, they'd have to take her away in a net.
Annette.
I think I'll start a whispering campaign.
Now why would you want to hurt her?
You have an instinct, Teddy, but no insight. Jean is not a marvelous woman, she's ridiculous.
There is no contradiction in being both ridiculous and magnificent. Your young mind will have to stretch a bit to grasp that.
I think my mind has stretched astonishingly to discuss at 16 the enduring passion of my lover for another woman.
It is not only astonishing, Sandy, it is unnatural. At your age, a girl should be passionate and involved and short-sighted.
Why? Because your ideal is? At pretty whatever she is, her and her passions. She's got a new one this term. You should see her skulking around trying to raise funds for Franco.
Franco?
Yes, we've gone very Spanish this season, but with the war and Mary McGregor's brother.
The chap who's so careless with his tutors.
Yes, you haven't heard? He's run off to Spain to fight. Miss Brodie's beside herself.
You girls must all grow up to be dedicated women, as I have dedicated myself to you. Dedication is the order of the day. In Germany, there is Hitler, a prophet-like figure, much like Thomas Carlyle, perhaps more reliable than the essentially Latin Mussolini. And in Spain, there is, of course, Generalissimo Franco, El Jefe, the chief. Mary! Has there been any word from your brother, Mary?
No, Miss Brodie, no nothing, but Mr. Ealing is sending men from the Foreign Office to Spain.
Sent for. Your brother is being sent for. Mr. Ealing at the bank would send for Caesar, would send to fetch Richard Coeur de Lion home from the Crusades. Mr. Ealing at the bank has tried throughout history to stay the march of civilization. You girls are living in a time that will demand all you have to give of courage and gallantry. You must remember that it was for you that Hugh fell. It was for you that a great and terrible war was fought. And it was for you that a new world has begun. And you must be heroines to live in this new world. Heroines.
Do you know how to march? And shoot guns too?
If you are called.
Girls?
Have I never told you of Hannah Snell, an English girl who sailed with the Scotland's fleet at Airpon? She was wounded, but without medical help, she extracted the bolt from her own shoulder and lived to serve again. Oh, Hannah Snell was a girl. You girls must be prepared to serve, suffer, and sacrifice. Are you prepared?
Yes, Miss Brodie.
Dismissed. Well, Mary McGregor, we have much to discuss. This proposed fetching home of your brother is outrageous. You and I, Mary McGregor, you and I must find some way to do our own good part.
Jean knows nothing of politics nor politicians. She simply invests all leaders with her own romantic vision.
I'm tired.
Take a break. I'll fix you a cup of tea.
Do you know that it occurs to me that Miss Brodie's sex and Miss Brodie's faithful fascisti, F-A-S-C-I-S-T-I, and that accounts for her disapproval of the girl guides. The guides were a rival fascisti and Miss Brodie could not bear it. How I wish I'd joined the brownies.
What a spiteful child it is.
I'm ashamed I ever loved Miss Brodie.
Never be ashamed for having loved anyone, Sandy.
But Miss Brodie never loved me.
How can you know that?
She only uses people.
We all do. What else is there for us to use? The people we love, the people who love us?
Oh, don't try to be all philosophical with me, Teddy. You have a perfectly good mind, but refuse to use it.
And you, my dear, have a perfectly good heart, but you're too young to trust it.
Ah, so my age does bother you, doesn't it? You should read Freud. It's very enlightening.
My dear, I live in terror for their enlightenment. But you were quite right about your mind having been stretched. What needs a wee bit of stretching, Linus, is your mortal soul. Here, try this on for size. Perhaps you can explain it to me. I've been reading and puzzling over it for 20 years.
St. Augustine, the city of God. A rival prophet?
A rival teacher. Do you know what he said? He said, give me chastity and give me continency, but do not give it yet.
Very much your sort of teacher, I'd say. Take me dancing.
Certainly not.
What a coward.
A man with a wife and 6 children plus a schoolgirl for a mistress can be called any number of rude names, but a coward is not one of them.
Well, if you won't take me dancing, take me to church.
Take yourself to church.
When can I see the portrait?
Never. I shall never be finished with it. We shall have to continue on like this until one or both of us is dead.
No, now. I need to see myself mirrored in your eyes. I need a vision of myself.
No, it's not ready. Sandy,
Even the skin tones are hers. It's not even my skin. Well, I never really believed you loved me, but I really thought that you desired me.
I do.
I might as well have been Jenny after all. It would be the same with anyone. Well, Lloyd, I congratulate you on the economy of your style. Simply use whatever is at hand. Miss Brodie does it too. I used to be fascinated by her variations of her Hugh Who Fell in Flanders Field love story. First, she would give him the talents of the art master, then those of the singing master. How very similar your techniques are. Very instructive.
Sandy, love is the most irrational thing on the earth. Do you think I choose to love Jean Brodie? If I could choose, I would choose to love my wife, or you. Sandy, you are the most remarkable girl I have ever known. You are astonishing and marvelous and desirable. Do not think less of yourself because I am bewitched.
Very well, I shan't.
Where are you going? Say you have gone to Jenny's to study. I will tell my wife I fell asleep. I have before.
It's very kind of you, Teddy. I know you don't like to worry your wife.
Will you be back?
No. And I don't think, but I am bitter. I think I'm interested. I may take the city of God, mayn't I?
Of course.
Good night, Teddy. You can go on painting. You really don't need a model. And since this seems to be the time for you, you can go on. You really are quite a mediocre painter, Teddy. You'll never be really good. I wonder why you don't try some other thing. You're getting along, you know.
Are you certain? Of course I'm certain. They've been trying to find her for 3 days.
What would Mary go to Spain for? I thought she was home with the flu.
That's just what they put out when she disappeared. She left a note saying she was going to Spain to join her brother to fight for Franco.
To fight? But she could get shot. If that medical help, she would extract the bullet from her own shoulder and live to serve again.
This isn't funny. She could really get hurt. She could get killed.
What's going on? Who could get killed?
Mary McGregor, she's run away to Spain to fight.
Mary McGregor. What kind of joke is this?
It's not a joke. She's gone. To Spain. It's true. They've been trying to find her for days.
Mary McGregor couldn't find her way to Edinburgh.
No, they traced her all the way down to the Spanish border.
I don't believe it. She'd never make it on her own.
Oh, I don't think she was on her own. She has a guiding spirit.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure Miss Brodie gave Mary very explicit directions. The Paris train will take you as far as Perpignan, Perpignan. Now, pounds are in this envelope, francs are in this envelope, and pesos are in this envelope. How else?
I don't believe it.
Nor do I.
Oh, Miss Brodie will be frantic.
Miss Brodie will be ecstatic.
Come on, Jenny. I want to go talk to Miss Brodie.
Jean, do you really believe that Jean sent that child off to Spain?
How can you doubt it?
Well, Jean, and you've been raising funds for Franco.
Yes,
You must have inspired Mary McGregor.
she went to join her brother. He is her only kin.
I find it extraordinary.
The times are extraordinary.
I too have taken up a cause.
A cause? You? What sort of cause?
A romantic one. I've taken up a collection to buy a wedding present for Mr. Lowther and Miss Lockhart. May I put you down for £1? It is to be a simple affair at Crown Cargo Week on Sunday. The young lovers announced their intentions to Miss McKay evening before last. Her excitement was so profound, she ran amok and toasted them in neat whiskey.
And who told you to come to me with this?
I volunteered. I set the sparrow with my bow and arrow. I volunteered.
And what kill, pray, did you expect to make? Do you think that I could not with one snap of my finger send Miss Lockhart back to her gaseous domain? It was I who prevailed upon Mr. Lowther to take this step. It was I who encouraged him in his reluctant pursuit of Miss Lockhart. Now what I cannot understand is you. I cannot understand your malice in coming to me like this, hoping to hurt and humiliate me. Why?
That is true. That is what I wanted, to hurt you.
Why are you so angry with me?
I have a large family dependent on me. I need my job at Marshall Lane. I don't feel safe with you running about, Jean. Perhaps I owe a great deal more to Mr. Lowther than I care to admit. Perhaps there is something to be said for Stanley Bolin after all. I'm 43 years old, Jean. How old are you?
I am in my prime.
You're prime forsooth. Look at yourself. Look at me. A third-rate artist, a small-time womanizer running to seed. You're not in your prime, Jean. You're a frustrated spinster taking it out on idiot causes and dangerous ideas. A cranky schoolmarm.
I am a teacher.
A teacher or a leader, a prophet-like figure. The dangerous Miss Brodie and her troops. Over you, Lee, Jean, I cannot follow. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Arrivederci. Girls, I've called you together, my special girls, to tell you the truth about Mary McGregor's death. Miss McKay has already revealed to you the facts of Mary's death in Spain, but only I can tell you the truth. Mary McGregor died a heroine. It was her intention to fight for Franco against the powers of darkness, and although the train she was in was bombed before she herself could strike a blow, her intention was a noble and heroic one. Had she lived, Mary McGregor would have become a woman of great spirit and initiative. Hers would have been a dedicated life. Little girls, let's tonight let your imaginations soar. Think on Joan of Arc. Think on Florence Nightingale. Think on Mary McGregor.
Do you rely on you, Miss Brodie?
Well, why not? Deep in most of us is the potential for greatness, or the potential to inspire greatness. The day draws late. Your families will be expecting you. Take home the story of Mary McGregor.